What do you mean?
All right, we're good then. So that's the first game you want to see?
Yeah. I picked Terrorblade and I was like owning the lane. And just to give you a synopsis of what ended up happening in the first
Okay.
like 5 minutes, I was like owning, and then the lane was just static outside of the opponent's offlaner's thing, and I went to go jungle, and they followed me and killed me, and that like griefed my game super hard because I didn't get the pull. So I'm like wondering what to do in situations like that, basically.
Match data not found.
Is it too old, maybe?
It should still pull up the game. Let me try restarting
Oh.
my Dota.
Yeah, I just restarted Steam because it was giving me the thing where like it wasn't syncing.
I see. Yeah, give me a minute here.
Take your time, Mr. Coach.
Steam's been really buggy lately too.
Yeah.
Takes like forever to reload the game.
Apparently Ice Frog's coming back from vacation soon. Hallelujah.
Oh. Damn.
I wonder if there wasn't a Giga patch because Ice Frog wasn't working on the game.
Maybe.
Just because like he wasn't involved. And there would probably be a million more bugs.
I have no idea what goes on at Valve, so
Yeah, I'm just speculating. Is this silly stuff you were talking about?
nah. I think Ice Frog just chills in his manch, eating mangoes all day,
Yeah,
surrounded by little
don't
little girl
forget
frogs or whatever, just
don't forget
drowning in them.
the cheese and the royal jelly.
Yeah.
Bro, I miss royal jelly. That was such a nice item. Except for when your teammates wouldn't give it to you.
I'm not sure if I mean, I definitely don't miss Repair Kit, I'll tell you that much.
No, repair kit was stupid.
That's definitely lost me 1 or 2 games. I don't remember. Do I have you added?
On Steam?
Yeah.
No.
Let's see. Give me your Steam ID thing. Okay, finally the game's up. Thank God.
It just
When
took
was
a
this?
million years.
9/5? Yeah, this was like 4 days ago. Should be fine.
Yeah, this was like, I think it's like 2 weeks now. Because
Yeah.
this was like a week and a half ago.
Was it? It was on the 5th?
Yeah.
No, it was on the 9th, right? That was 4 days ago.
Oh. This game was a lot closer than I thought it was. I thought I played this game like last week.
Yeah, it had to be. Maybe 4 days ago.
Okay, cool.
Alright, the share screen's working and everything? Let's get things like
Yeah,
settled
now
in.
it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hit
I was
player
just full
view.
screened. I was just full screened on your profile picture, and I was like, I don't think he's streaming that.
Okay, so I assume that you think you're landing against Underlord plus Beastman. Primal Beast.
It falls to me to inform you that this one is in the bag.
Hold. I was disconnected from Discord. Hello?
Hello, are you still there?
I'm here. Like the
Okay.
stream's disconnected.
Let me just try restarting it. Maybe that'll help. What about now?
We should be good for now. I'll let you know if anything happens.
Okay.
30 seconds to battle.
It's always awkward having to use meta before the lane, but if you get a double kill, that's kind of nice. Especially first one.
I don't get the second kill, but I get the...
I think I've noticed some people getting Basty at the major. Is that like a new thing that people have been doing?
I heard about it like a month ago in EU pubs.
I see, yeah. It's probably fine.
The item just feels super nice.
Yeah. With First Blood, though, like, I don't know if people buy it right away.
Yeah.
I'm good. It's good that you're like building the Wraith Band, but I think like
Should I
just
just
saving
rush
up
the
for,
band of Elven Skin or something, or like the boots?
yeah, like you could maybe just wait for your Elven Skin and the Wraith Band, and you'll feel
Okay.
like much stronger because your meta's on cooldown for a minute. You're not able
Yeah.
to use any of your mana anyway, and like
Okay.
the Wraith Band recipe's fine though. So what MMR are we at before this session? So we can kind of keep
Before we
track.
start,
Yeah.
well, I just recalibrated today,
Okay.
so
Where are we at now?
I recalibrated at 500.
500. So this is
Yeah.
Herald 4 then?
Yeah, well, this was before I recalibrated, but
Oh, okay.
I was floating probably between 6 and 800.
Okay.
I feel like if I get better at laning, I'll just stomp all my games.
I think 3 things that you just need to always, like the 3 biggest things that I want you to focus on, because I've seen some of your games and I think you play way better than your MMR,
Yeah.
is just not throwing, okay? Because throwing is very easy,
Yeah,
especially when you feel powerful.
I've muted my team so I don't let them debate me into throwing.
And then just playing for item timings, so like
Mhm.
it's not like the most perfect thing in the world to never like attack an enemy hero until your first couple items, but you'll probably win a lot of your games doing that. So if you just wait for Manta Scotty on Terrorblade, for instance,
Yeah.
and you just try to get them really fast, you'll probably win just off like kind of playing it as it was like World of Warcraft, like some single player game. Just like get your gear and then go to the raid, you know, like then you get more gear.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this game plays out, but like I always want you to keep in your head that the only thing that matters, especially as a carry, is your item progression and not dying. So everything should be framed in a way that you want to get items faster and you want to not die. So just being safe over being risky, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
In these situations, if you bring the creeps this far back too, so this is a bit like it's not like exactly advanced, but if you start attacking him when he's like, because what he's doing is he's just trying to make you feel nervous while you're last hitting. Like he's just gonna stand big and menacing. Once you're like here, so like he can't really get out of the tower very easily if it switches to him. You can just start attacking him, even if you're tanking the creeps.
Okay.
And if he tries to attack you back, he'll tank the tower. And the creeps are gonna most likely hit you anyway.
Yeah.
But if you start hitting him, he's at least taking damage, and then you have to last in between, and it makes it a little harder for him to just sit there in your face, ready to deny you. Because with like 80 damage, he's actually able to just deny every creep in front of you if you don't harass him at all.
I see.
You do have the illusion at least, but so like even here, he tanks the tower by accident. Now he's gone. So if like you bring him pretty close to the tower and just start hitting him, it'll put him in a position where he has to either run away, or at least he's like losing something for sitting there. And then once there's like 1 or 2 creeps left, then he can't just sit there ready to deny because like the creeps are gonna die if you start hitting them faster, and then he'll tank the tower some more. So like, he took like 4 tower shots there. If you just want to kill the creeps as fast as possible, or just be hitting them the whole time, so that like you can get the tower more involved.
I see.
Okay.
I gave that guy a free deny by accident.
No.
Yes, lol.
So we can't sit in the firestorm really, even if it's just level 1.
I kind of realized that.
So this is like a perfect example of stuff I want you to avoid.
Yeah. Big AoE damage.
Not necessarily that, but like you're level 3, you're gonna have 2 points of meta and the lion's coming. I think you should just press metamorphosis now and start hitting him. And then if he presses Firestorm, you can just walk forward out of it, and then keep hitting him.
Let's see.
So, like, you should even be going on him now.
Here I was wondering, I was contemplating if I should just take the second point in the illusion to start jungling.
No, you don't
Earlier.
need to. You don't need to start
Okay.
jungling yet. If anything in this lane, I would have 1 point in reflection at level 2, and then for a second meta, I would just try to kill the Pit Lord because you're very far ahead of him. And again, like, you don't have to really do these sort of things. If you just avoid these situations entirely, it probably won't affect your win rate at all. If anything, like, putting yourself in these harder, like, to make spots, if that makes sense, will just, like,
Yeah.
make things more difficult for you. Just try to keep things simple and then add more stuff as you get better, because like all you had to do here was as soon as your meta's off cooldown, level 2, you can just press it now and start hitting him with the line about to stun him. And then you, like, basically what you did, three mistakes, okay? You sat in the Firestorm.
I didn't
You
press
didn't
meta fast enough.
Yeah, you didn't press meta fast enough, and you waited for the creep wave to come, so you tanked 5 creeps while you were hitting him. Whereas if you started here, the creep wave would, like, never be hitting you for a while. Like, it's just all that stuff that adds up. And essentially, I think you just play for your own farm and just play safer. Like, if he casts Firestorm, just walk out of it unless it's, like, for sure a kill. Because this trade is not necessarily bad for you by any means. Like, there is another hero you're laning against. I don't know what she's doing.
I
But
think he was trying to
when
fuck
you're
with
low on HP, it is much harder to farm, just in general. So, like, avoiding, like, trades are usually bad for you unless you have a plan. So, like, even if you win this trade, like, 60-40, it might be, you might get into a situation where they, like, especially against a lot of offlaners, they have, like, kill abilities. So, like, if you're at half HP and he's at half HP, they can just hit you with both their spells and you'll die, where you have no spells to cast on him. So, like, even if he's at 40%, you're at 60%, you might die anyway. So avoiding these kind of trades is just really, really, like, simple way of playing the safe lane for now. Because you tanked 5 creeps and the Firestorm.
It's funny because I have a game from a day or two ago where I avoided taking, like, trying to make trades and then...
Just be really conscious of it is the thing. And like the sad part is, like, because you had a bigger creep wave, you're gonna lose like 3 creep waves on top of the death. Or you get back to the lane. Maybe it's just the 1.5, but
it's still bad.
Still really, really bad. Let's see how many creeps are left here. Yeah, you lost 2 creep waves. If you missed, like, more, it would have been bad.
Yeah, here I didn't really know what to do because Lion wasn't pulling.
And he doesn't need to pull, really. Your lane is fine.
Oh, I felt pressured by these 2 heroes being here. Like, if Queen just presses Q and he presses Firestorm on me.
Two things we need to keep in mind is always check your enemy's mana. So Underlord has no mana for Firestorm.
Let's see.
And Quap, sure, she can Q you, but you have 2 tangos, this guy has a healing salve, you're fine on HP. There should be 0 worries about this lane right now. This would actually be a situation where I would want you to trade with him, just because he has no spells to hit you with. Even if he has Ring of Health, you have like 13 armor, you have Lion with you, and then maybe the Quap will come in to help and you guys can kill the Quap. You should be the one in his face at this point if he has no mana, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And again, to keep it simple, I kind of want you to avoid these situations anyway. Maybe, I don't know if you can communicate with Lion, probably not. He's fighting the Quap at least. I think you can just spawn your illusion, auto-attack this range creep down, and then just aggro the creeps back if you know how to do that.
I'm trying to work on aggro. Like
It's
they're
very, very, very important. It's like the easiest thing you could learn that has nothing to do with
like
any of the other heroes
like
in the game.
there where you saw that that other melee creep like walk back and then walk back to the creep wave. I tried getting that one to come to the range too, but failed at it. If you saw what I'm talking about, like
Yeah.
20 seconds ago.
Because you need to, like, the first thing I want you to learn after the coaching session today, so we're at like 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
I really just want you to go in a lobby and just practice it, because
Okay.
you're gonna, like, it's gonna make your life so much easier. You can
It
just
is
go into
not.
demo lobby, spawn an enemy, make a ward. Oops, that's for the wrong character.
Prepare for battle.
And like just get a feel for the range. So like here's too far away. But like typically if you're next to your range creep, that's all you really need.
Yeah. No.
And just
What
like
I
practice
try.
bringing them super far back.
Oh, I see.
Cuz like who can harass you back here?
Nobody.
The only thing you have to worry about not getting is the range creeps. But like oh this like let's say I'm mid, the wave's super far up on their hill, even if I don't get all of them. And the people you play against aren't going to punish you for this. They aren't going to know what to do against it. And you're just going to free farm for the most part.
Yeah.
Even in hard lanes. All we're trying to do is stay super consistent and make sure we get our own farm.
Okay. So, okay.
It is like, it's like a bit of an advanced mechanic technically, but I think it's like the simplest thing in the world to learn the basics of.
Yeah.
Because you can be
it's
super
easy.
cute with it. You can like use it to deny creeps even, because you can
Like here,
like
this is
before
exactly
they
what I
lost
was
it.
talking about here, where this one creep I tried aggroing the other.
Yeah,
creep
you were
that
too
was
far
further
away.
up. Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I remember I was like, why didn't it aggro back?
Yeah. All you need to do, it's way simpler
you-
to just do it in the practice lobby.
Okay.
There is a cooldown on it, so like if I Google
Yeah, I
creep
think you said
aggro,
that it's like 2 seconds.
yeah.
I think I heard BSJ say that. If I'm not mistaken.
You have to be within 500 range for melee creeps, which is about like it's about Storm Spirit's auto attack range. If you ever played Storm, because Storm is 480. Um,
So it's basically like right in front of the range creep.
kind of, yeah. That's around there. It depends how far the lane is. Like the spacing
Yeah.
between the creeps aren't always the same. Okay. It has a behavior. It has a cooldown of 3 seconds. They can only be aggroed or de-aggroed this way every 3 seconds. So
That's probably what happened. It was
yeah.
probably on cooldown.
The other thing I want you to focus on with meta, if you're gonna play a lot of Terrorblade, is
I think I just picked it because they had a Dusa, and I wanted something that could go late first it.
yeah, which is fine. I don't want you to jungle this early when you have this much HP either, especially your meta off cooldown. If you're like level 5 or so at this point, you could consider it, but I think you should spam a lot of Terrorblade the next week or so. And
Just play this hero only.
yeah, I think
For
you'll
the
learn a
most
lot
part.
playing it, and I think it has like the perfect mix. Like he scales really well, he farms really well, he does pretty well in like most lane matchups. I think it's a good hero to start with. All your spells are super strong. The first advice, like it's awkward this game because you got first blood with your meta,
Yeah.
but I literally want you to press meta off cooldown and just deny all the creeps with it and just hit them a bunch. Like
I was looking at meta as like this spell that you use to try and like kill the enemies and get a.
we can kill people if they mess up or whatever, but I just want you to only focus on the number in the top left where it says LHDN
Okay.
and not D's or whatever, you know, like LHDN. I want you to have very high LHDN, and I want you to get like at least 3 or 4 denies
Per
every
creep
time you
wave?
press meta.
Okay.
And that should be enough for 2 waves, roughly. If you can get all 8 with it, that's like beautiful. And the denies alone will let you stay in the lane longer because they'll just get XP slower, and then you'll be able to stay longer.
It's like a farming steroid. Or,
So we didn't get to use meta at all in the lane, and that's why it's super awkward.
so like I should use meta on the first creep wave?
Yes.
Okay.
You'll see people on Pro Tracker start Q in some lanes or W in some lanes. I don't care. Just start meta
Yeah, I saw
and just
the
get
Q.
your numbers really high. We need some stonks.
I don't think I would ever start W. I might start Q if I had like a good build or something.
And then in this situation, like you're a little, probably a little behind in net worth, maybe just about the same as Pitlord, but you're behind in XP. When he gets level 3 Firestorm, so like Dota heroes have power spikes, right? Like level 2 in a spell is normally twice as strong or almost twice as strong. So like level 2 Firestorm is pretty scary, but we're not gonna like leave the lane because he has level 2 Firestorm. When he has level 3 Firestorm, that might be a problem. And then sometimes you're ahead enough where it doesn't matter, or like you have your full treads by now, and maybe like Lion is like helping you and you're winning the lane, you can stay a little longer. Some heroes have their power spike at level 6, so what's an offlaner with like a level 6 power spike these days? Mars, right?
Mars, Bristleback.
Mars is 6, you probably want to get out of dodge. And Pitlord 7 is super strong as well, but at level 5, Pitlord is gonna just like kill all the creeps in front of you. If you ever walk up, he's gonna press Firestorm on you, it sucks. And I think you can just deal with it if he's level 4 like this, especially if he has no mana regen. So like always check their items. Even if this guy was like level 20, if he had 0 mana, I would just still stay in the lane and not care. And I'd just drag the creeps back, farm, press meta, farm. Especially with your meta about to be off cooldown. And it's like, it kind of sucks that we're at 0 denies 14 CS. But
I was also scared because the Quap was missing in my lane. Yeah, there she is.
She's worthless. I wouldn't worry about her.
Scared to be 2v1, basically.
I think we need to get rid of that notion, because if we aggro the creeps back, we're getting 3 melee creeps every wave no matter what from now on.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the other thing is the wave is pushing into you, and Pitlord has some mana for 1 spell, so we don't care. We need to collect this wave under the tower before we leave at the very least, and use meta.
Okay.
You could even collect this wave under the tower, and then go meta the jungle creeps, I wouldn't care. But this is like a lot of XP you're gonna miss out on.
Mm-hmm.
This is a hero that can pretty much jungle really early anyway, so it won't be like a huge deal.
Here I'm trying to aggro the onto the illusions.
The jungle is quite scary. You can, again, like, I want you to just get in the habit of, like, people even do this on Dragon Knight these days. Just press this spell whenever it's off cooldown until you have your item timings.
Okay. It doesn't matter if I want to do something or not.
You're level 4, you're not going to walk into towers, you have no boots.
I'm just saying if there was a situation, like, where I might want to go hit a tower.
Okay, let's say, perfect question. Let's say meta's about to come off cooldown in 30 seconds. We can look around for something to do. If there's nothing to do, we're going to go use it on Ancients or something.
Got it.
So you can look for things in advance and kind of plan ahead. Especially if you had, like, your treads, maybe you're going for a Dragon Lance. You see that your Invoker is super fat and the Primal Beast is low, you can walk mid, press meta, and try to pressure the tower a little bit. Don't, like, commit fully to the tower. Yeah. If they defend it, just run away, we don't care. But, like, you want to plan it around when your cooldown's about to come off, not when it's off cooldown, if that makes sense.
Yep.
If, for whatever reason, you're, like, in this situation where it's been off cooldown for a while and you're just waiting around to use it, just press it. Okay. When you have Manta, you can be a little more stingy about it and think about, like, taking towers or going for a kill somewhere or something, but just try and play around your items for the most part.
Got it.
When you have Manta Scotty, we're obviously never pressing meta unless we're roaching or fighting, but you would have cleared this camp so much easier and taken like 0 damage.
I agree with that statement.
So yeah, we can probably we'll probably count the like minutes this game that meta remains off cooldown, where it should probably be like closer to seconds in a lot of games, unless it goes like super late.
I think I died to this camp, if I'm remembering correctly.
So another like the advanced stuff I want you to learn first is not going to be like I need you to manta dodge
Ancient.
I don't need you to manta dodge Finger of Death while 4 heroes are on top of you or something. But I want you to pull this camp out when you're in meta, like when you're ranged, and hit it when it's running back to the camp so you don't lose HP, especially when you're weak. So I'll just give you an example as well.
You want to know one that's super easy to do? Doppelgang off assassinate.
True.
You just wait for the sound.
Go in silence.
I'll even do it as like a level 6 drow or something, I guess, and I don't feel like taking another hero.
Prepare for battle. Silent as mist. The arrow stabs from afar. Blink dagger brings me closer.
You can go to Dire Ancients.
Very well.
So you just hit the camp. I usually just stop around here and start hitting them back, but this makes it so you take way less damage.
Okay.
Quiver.
Because I know some heroes, there's like a range. Yeah.
Feel the bite.
So yeah, like especially when you're weak early, if you're forced to take Ancients early.
Tastes so sweet.
This isn't like the easiest camp in the world to clear, especially as drow. I could probably slow them a bit too, but
I don't think any of the camps are easy to clear anymore.
oh, I just mean like because I'm level 6, like it's not gonna take. Like it's still gonna hurt me a lot. Yeah. But I will for sure die if I try to take this camp and like not move at all, which is basically what you were doing. It's just Terrorblade's a lot tankier. So like this for sure does not work. Make a Terrorblade.
I thought we were
Andre
being
3000.
Well.
Yeah, well we're already here, so
May as well.
were you level 4 or something?
Yeah, I was level 4.
Way ahead of you.
So yeah, like you can make your illusion tank.
Yeah, I tried
hold on, my hotkeys
aggro.
are-
I was trying to work
When
on,
you're in melee
aggroing
form?
to illusions.
Even when you're in melee form, you can kind of pull them back. If you're desperate, you probably don't want to do Ancients if you have to do this, because it'll just take too long. But even then, I'm getting a lot of mileage out of this.
Yep.
And you should just be attack moving. This is good practice as well, like even if you're killing creeps, because you want to be doing this in fights. You want to be kiting like this constantly in fights. You almost never want to stand still. There's like a few situations where like if you have Satanic and there's a lot of things going on and you're just man fighting somebody, you just take my hands off the keyboard because I don't want to miss an attack somehow by accident.
Or if I'm like on a high ground with vision.
You still want to be like moving either a little closer or a little backwards.
Yeah,
you want to be stutter stepping while you're attacking. And it's all stuff you can practice while you're farming the jungle creeps anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? And you'll just farm a lot faster. Okay. So we were around, it was around here when we went to the Ancients, I think. Or this is right after. Either way, it doesn't
Probably right after.
Yeah, we're too far behind. And you kind of did it to yourself in a way.
Yeah, this game ends up getting competitive. Too.
Oh yeah, they all do at this MMR, I imagine. Like, not to like flame or anything, but
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
yeah, they just last a long time.
I was surprised
Bristleback
this
has a good game too.
Yeah, I was really surprised this game wasn't over in like 20 minutes, if I'm being honest.
The other thing is like, okay, let's go back to why we were in middle in the first place. What happened here?
I think I was bottom and then I got chased out like a minute or two ago.
Okay, so we're level 5. This guy's level 8, and he's bottling up. We need to get that. We need to get, like, this is another situation where
I
if you were better and more experienced, you would know this doesn't go well for you, like, automatically.
yeah, I think I wasn't taking into account that my invoker was like a third HP.
Yeah, the other thing is you're next to a tower, so, like, someone else can just TP. Like, I don't know if CM has a TP. I guess she doesn't. I don't know if you knew what was, like, you're probably not keeping track of that stuff anyway, so it's not that important. But, like,
Later in
let's
the game,
say this guy just disconnects and you kill him, because that's the only way he can really die at this point. That's great for you, but I think 99.9% of the time, he's just going to turn around and kill you, or someone's going to TP.
Yep.
And we pressed meta, so we feel like we need to do something, but like I said, just avoid all these situations. Just go farm. Just go hit creeps.
Yeah.
Like, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier, where I said, like, you might feel like you want to hit a tower a little bit after a gank like this. You didn't even kill the guy, and you're just, like, poking the tower. If anyone is ever here to defend, just run away. It's not worth it. We don't want any sort of... We don't want to put ourselves in danger at all. Especially when you're this low on the net worth. If you're at, like, Bristleback's net worth, like, you're level 8 with, like, a Dragon Lance right now at 9 minutes, you'll be a lot stronger, and you can maybe, like, fight the guy or do something, but even then, I just want you to always play it safe. It's just not worth these situations. I'm not sure if you would live if you sundered. Probably not. I think he just kills you through it.
Dire's bottom tower is under
I was
attack.
hoping this invoker would be behind me with my strong spear.
No, we can't have that thought process. Like, that is the problem, to be honest, is, like, don't
I'm
expect
relying on
anybody to help you. You don't need help to win these games. You really don't.
Yeah.
You might need bodies to be around to, like,
tank
make the
spells for
game
me.
even and tank spells and, like, show up. And, like, you need, like, for a team fight, you need people to just be around. You don't, like, this guy could miss all his spells in the fight. As long as he's there to soak some damage or something, you can 1v9 on a lot of carries.
Bottom tower has fallen.
You can literally do all the damage in the game and you can still win on this hero. You're not going to do any damage without items, though, so, like,
Yeah.
that's probably the second or third death this game that just makes no sense, and it's why you're going to be behind. The other thing is, I would avoid Dragon Lance for now for you. It's kind of
think
nice
I was
against
gonna-
Medusa.
Yeah, I think what happened was I remembered before I played this game, I played another game against Medusa without Dragonlance, and it just felt horrible trying to fight into her.
We don't care. We're gonna have we don't care. The reason it feels horrible is because you're, like, even or whatever. All you have to do is wait for her to press Manta, and her Q will kill your Q will kill her whole team. You don't even have to, like, have items in this matchup.
Wait, Q works on illusions?
No, but she can take it off with Manta. So,
Oh, I
like,
see.
we're at 11 minutes, so I can remember where to load back into. I'll give you, like,
No,
a little
you don't.
demonstration.
I understand what
Oh
you're
my
saying.
god, the game crashed. Give me a second.
Battle
I don't want you to
servers are going
understand. I
for-
want you to see. I want to make you believe. It's the difference. I'm gonna wait a second for the game to load back up.
Valve servers do be going Bert.
Might have to restart my computer after this too. I don't know why. It's just been kind of laggy today.
It might be the it might be the Canadian internet.
Maybe.
I hear it's not the best.
So, and this works against, like, a majority of the carries in the game. Obviously, you have to deal damage to them, but Medusa's, like, the one bullshit matchup. Like, one Medusa. Let's just say she has a team full of, like,
Ogre Magi.
Storm Spirits. And we'll give these guys max level, and, like, that'll be, like, compensation or whatever. Scotty, Manta.
I don't think I would want to play Dota if you could have 5 Storm Spirits on a team.
You can see just how much damage that does. You don't even have to,
Yeah.
like, do anything. She pops her ulti as well to run at you. As long as her, like, mantis up first.
Oh, so I have a question.
You also clear her mantas.
Should I wait for Medusa to pop her ult before in the matchup before I commit my meta?
It depends. Like, that stuff is super
Okay.
situational, and hopefully we'll just see it in the game. Do I still have the replay line? But yeah. The thing is, like, you don't really you're not the one kind of, like, forced to really do anything in the matchup.
Oh, I see.
Because, like, you can just keep spamming Q, and you're gonna be shoving lanes with illusions. If, like, say, like, this happens a lot in my games sometimes, maybe your games too, where, like, people are just standing around waiting for someone to Roche. I don't know if you guys have enough patience down here to, like, not fight for a long time if people are standing around.
You think we Roche before 20 minutes?
Well, I'm saying late game. Like, let's say it's, like, 40 minutes. 40, 50
Oh.
minutes, and people are just
Usually-
waiting for someone to do Roche or whatever. People are standing around grouped up as 5. Maybe it doesn't happen down here, but
What happens down here is usually someone takes a team fight around 15 to 25 minutes. And then if you're lucky, you can convince your team to come help you with Roche.
okay. But, like, your hero can make illusions and send them all over the map, so if you're both just sitting there AFK doing nothing, you're still pressuring lanes in some way, if that makes sense. Whereas, like, she can kind of manta, but she's very, very slow.
Yeah.
I would also skip your ulti until later.
Yeah.
We're gonna... I want you to just, like... Even if this is quote-unquote not 100% the best way to play the hero, like, let's just put on some, like, mini training wheels. Just max meta and conjure image first, maybe 1 point in reflection, and just kill as many creeps as you can. Don't fight. Like, Sunder will make you want to fight. It's the same thing that happened mid where you pop meta. You're like, oh, I pop meta, I'm gonna hit a tower. No, like, don't make any of that shit your job unless it's free. Just kill creeps. We're at 50 CS at 13 minutes. I want you to be at like 120. Just be like the top of the net worth every game, and the game will play itself for you. You'll get your items by, like, no one helps you with Roche, that's fine. At 30 minutes, you'll have enough items to solo kill it. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
We don't need help on any of these carries. This I'm okay with because you're defending. I'm fine with you, like, the benefit of defending, okay, is like you're living a peaceful life, you're clearing the camps, and the fight kind of comes to you because it's next to your tower and your team was there to soak spells and stuff. Whereas, like, if you're poking at their tower, they might just bend you over and fold you. So, like, if they're folding your teammates and you can show up, maybe get a kill and then run away, that's fine. And you don't have to show up to this stuff, but it is good when it's good, if that makes sense. Like, these are the times where I want you to use your, like, decision-making and big brain to be like, okay, maybe I'll come to this fight and defend the tower because my team is there. And, like, in a perfect world, you popped meta, you're gonna hit this tower. I would want you to hit this tower, okay? I really do. I think you should just run away and go farm. For now, if that makes sense.
Even if I still have, like, 3/4 duration on meta.
I don't care if you get 300 damage on this tower. If you kill this tower, nothing good will come of it. Your team's not going to play on their side of the map. They're not going to use the space. Nobody is going to give a shit about the tower.
Yeah,
like, all of its stuff is, like, beyond everyone's comprehension at this MMR. All you need to do is kill as many creeps as possible until you have enough items to kill everybody on the screen.
Or make it so that it's always...
All that can happen, like, is... Okay, let's say, like, the risk to reward. We kill the mid tower, nobody on your team's gonna shove mid... Like, if we kill the mid tower and Bristleback has a brain, he's gonna shove the mid waves and take these camps and play with the supports, and things are gonna be going really well for your team. Deuce is gonna get less farmed. That's never gonna happen. This guy, like, he probably is just playing Bristleback for fun with one hand. He's just eating some Cheetos. He's gonna go farm like over here or in the lane.
I remember this guy. I played with this guy prior to this game.
He seems like he's got like he seems like he's got a plan. He's going the right items. And he's top net worth, but his plan does not revolve around this tower. I can assure you, and he's not going to change his ideas based on how much theoretical map control the Dire team can hold after killing this building. You can only do like 300 damage to this tower before Primal Beast respawns and solo kills you anyway. I don't want it to be that like, okay, Primal Beast is respawning, we did 300 damage to the tower, that's a huge win, nobody cares. Go farm the creeps. If you're already over here when he respawns, it's just that you're that much farther away from the guy that can kill you. You need to just play like cat and mouse with the strongest guy on their team. I'm just seeing a world where yellow respawns and just folds you like laundry.
Yep.
And that's gonna happen every time. But you got 1,000 damage on the tower though, right? Worth it. Yeah. No. We don't care. Don't care towers. Especially in Herald, at some point in time, you're gonna kill all 5 of the enemy heroes, and you're just gonna run down a lane and kill every tower in 3 seconds with 6 items.
I see.
At 50 minutes, this tower will die in 3 hits to you. It's not a deal. It's not a big deal. No one's gonna gank you if you go farm over here. If I would imagine the amount of smokes of deceit that get used in Herald is just for someone running back to lane faster because they don't know what they're used for. Like
I guarantee you, if you took the average, it would be negative.
I don't know why your team is out of smokes. I haven't seen anyone use one. Maybe Pudge is just holding them for later. I guarantee you nobody smokes at this MMR, and you can just even. I don't even know if people buy sentries that much, and like this ward probably sucks because this is like the obvious sentry spot for the other team. But if you bought a ward and put it in this river here, you'll never die in this jungle. Nobody at this MMR is gonna put a sentry in this river. Same thing for like this side. If you want vision over here, instead of putting a ward, like you should ward for yourself always. Don't trust people with wards.
Yeah, I try to snag wards, and then every time I look, they're always out of stock.
Whatever side of the map you want to farm, just put it in the quick buy. And like just shift click it. I'm sure you've used the quick buy before.
Yeah.
Just snag it as soon as it's up. Treat it like it's more important than the Book of Experience. Okay, like everyone fights for the Book of Experience. You need to fight for the wards harder than the Book of Experience. If you put the ward down on this bounty rune, nobody's ever putting a sentry away from this hill.
I know. When I play support, I always place all the like big brain wards that are
okay, we need to place the big brain wards as Terrorblade as well. And you just need to put on some like dubstep or hardstyle or like drum and bass. I'm
always listening to music.
Bob your head to the beat and just kill as many creeps as possible and just pretend you're like literally playing with and against robots and you'll win every game, I promise you.
I see.
Never like this is like 500 to 1,000 MMR. My best advice is just never touch the tier 1 towers. The best advice I give people at 2,000 to 3,000 MMR is they get the same thing happens at the tier 2 towers. They just have this big bright idea at 15 minutes that like, I'm gonna hit this tier 2. And then they get 200 damage on it, 5 TPs, they die. Just never touch these towers, like, unless they're 100% free. And the tier 1s oftentimes just become free later at some point. They should be free pretty early with the catapults. And you'll find this exact same experience will happen when you start playing with better people at like a little higher MMR. Is they'll start doing this for the tier 2 towers. Be like, well, we killed all the tier 1 towers, there's nothing else to do. And they just see this big like structure on the map that they all magnetize to and die. The tier 2 towers are like 5 tier 1 towers combined. It's literally like the Power Rangers like Megazord of towers. It just glyphs, it kills everything, it gives this huge armor aura. All the trees around them are bullshit. They're just not worth the time.
Hey, coach.
What's up?
I've kind of made it my mission to prove to other heralds that you can never go push your the enemy offlane towers to win the video game.
You see.
Because after the tier 1 mid and the safe lane, the enemy safe lane tier 1 are taken for whatever reason, that third tier 1 tower is like bees to honey for them.
I would just not give a shit about what other people are doing for the most part. Like, try
Yeah.
and find when the game, like the game's like, I'd say after this fight mid where you killed a couple people and you like kind of got back into the game. If you didn't die trying to push this tower, I think if you just farmed and at some point the game will just break down or people aren't landing as much anymore and it looks like this. So like if you just keep sending illusions bottom and farming the tri camp and these two camps and make your own ward somewhere over here, eventually this will just die to creeps or you'll come and last hit it and it's like no worries. Like you actually don't have to worry about the game at all. Even if you're behind 5k, which I want you to never be that far behind because you should be at the top of the net worth anyway, just following the advice I've given you so far.
My question is,
Sure.
if people are farming my Trungle while I'm AFKing down here, where do I go farm after I finish these two camps? This happens to me a lot where I'll come hit these two camps and I'll go back to my triangle.
Yeah, people like to all farm the camps, which sucks, but this is the one advantage of Terrorblade, is that you can just keep sending illusions everywhere, so...
Yeah.
Let's say the triangle was farmed for whatever reason, I would just, like, send illusions to farm here, like, farm deeper. As long as you have a ward somewhere and you're not too scared of dying, like, they really only have one stun, it's Primal Beast. I think you could probably take these camps anyway, just farm wherever there's farm. If... What I imagine happens in this situation, if you just send a bunch of illusions at this tower, is that 2 or 3 people will TP, and then you can just go TP top or something. Like you just kind of want to force a TP somewhere and then go do something else.
And then, if TV is banned and Naga isn't, do you want me to play Naga?
No, if TB is banned, then let me look at the list here.
Because I like playing Naga too, but I think Naga is shit this patch.
Play as much TB as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And if TB is banned, just play more Tiny.
Just play more Tiny forehead.
Yeah, just play more Tiny or something. If Tiny's also banned, then hit up like Luna or Medusa. They kind of play similarly. It's not the exact same, but
yeah,
you just buy a Manta and kind of roleplay a little bit anyway.
Luna, you get Mask of Madness, Manta BKB, and you win the video game at this MMR.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, so we know this is warded now. Okay, we're about to get into the next big piece of advice. Uphills are scary, and you're just gonna have to buy your own wards if you want to go up here.
I think I was baited by the bounty rune spawning.
Yeah, don't worry about that shit. This is a game where your triangle is not being farmed, you should just be going to farm the triangle. And the biggest problem on the screen right now is just the warding situation. I can't really see what wards are available, but...
I mean, you could probably check heroes and see where they are.
Yeah, I think Bristle bought a sentry, Lion might have stuff, but... You need to farm around your vision. I'm fine if you want to, like, spam a loot, like... Let's go back a couple ticks. You should just spam your next illusion on this wave to push it into the tower and just TP top, because I think, like, no one's really going to be playing near this Medusa. I think that at this MMR, I think this side of the map's just going to be safer than their side. I don't think anyone really crosses the river. Like, that's just my hard read. Like, judging from the games I've seen you play and other people play, and the way your team has moved this game as well, I don't think people are crossing the river, so... If you don't cross the river, that means you're also safe.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's just hard to feel safe when there's no vision on the map anywhere.
Yeah, you can get your own. But,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Like I said earlier, like, let's say you didn't pick up this bounty rune, if you just poked at this tower more, the Underlord that TP'd to the outpost here would have just TP'd bottom, and then, like, all of a sudden you don't have to worry about Underlord for, like, 3 minutes if you TP top. Like, he's just gone out of the game. So you can focus more on, like, making them TP or something.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I guess he does have his ulti, too. I didn't really consider that, but... Yeah, it was a bit awkward. This Dragonlance will be absolutely worthless in this game. All it's useful for the most part, is killing towers, and we're not doing that anymore. So,
Okay.
Like, this is a sieging item.
Hitting Medusa.
You're not really going to be hitting Medusa unless you're hitting Medusa, if that makes sense. It's, like, really not, like... Once
Like,
you have
the
Manta
extra
Scotty...
The extra range isn't really gonna matter.
Once you have Scotty, she's not moving. Like, she already doesn't move, so, like... All you need is to get on top of her after her ult, for the most part, and you can build a Blink for that, or even, like, a Shadow Blade. You can just go Manta Scotty every game, and then consider your next item. I'd probably get Satanic this game. Maybe even just Silver Edge or Daedalus. Like, Silver Edge is probably nice to kill Underlord by yourself. Usually some kind of mobility or, like, BKB is fine too, but I think you can go BKB list this game.
Dire's bottom tower is
Because
under attack.
you press BKB and people still try to kill you.
Well,
Even if they have magic, then, like,
BKB doesn't do much to Medusa ult, and
yeah.
actually, CM ult is pretty powerful, but they don't have a lot of stunts, so, like, if you have Satanic, you'll just be fine, I
I
think.
can just live through it.
Yeah.
It's,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, we're just way too far behind at this point.
this game goes on for another 20 minutes, believe it or not.
Yeah. Try to get to some, like, team fights and stuff, because I think, like...
Is under attack. Dire's top tower.
I mean, you're level 10 at 20 minutes. I don't think there's anything you can really do to come back in the game, other than hope and pray that they just, like, feed you.
Like this?
No, not like this, apparently.
Oh wait, I died. Yeah, they kind of just feed into us.
At least you can copy their carry, but you only have 1 point in that spell, too. I would even consider the Reflection Duration talent versus Medusa over the Conjure Image. I wonder if people do that. Let me check. Seems like people still get the illusion damage, but I could see a world where, like, this is just a crazy ass game where I would just get the reflection duration after I max reflection, because I need to use Teal's items. I don't have any. That'd be my thought process.
That makes sense.
If their carry's super huge and it's like a Medusa or something that, like, or Luna,
Like
you can consider it, but it's probably better to just have your own damage.
Are scattered.
At this point, I think it's pretty Jeej. But, you know, Herald, so...
back into the game.
Yeah. There isn't going to be much to, like, say at this point, because... Oh, no.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah.
tower is under attack.
Oh no.
Radiant's bottom
Oh, thank God.
tower
You killed a tower, though. I was very scared.
Radiant's bottom tower
I thought I
People-
thought people love to defend towers
Until,
at
like,
this MMR.
until 9k or 10k MMR, honestly, maybe it's changed now. I think people, like, the biggest mistake people do is they just try to defend towers too much, because they don't know that their teammates have TP on cooldown or whatever. They just go like, oh, my tower is getting attacked, let me go. And they just don't consider everything, and it's like 99% of the time it just goes so wrong. If your tower's already being attacked, like, most of the time, if they're set up, you can't go, but if you go when they're about to go push, it can be really good. At this MMR, if someone's hitting it alone, people are just going to overreact as well, so it's just things to consider.
This pod did some amazing hooks this fight.
Alright, not bad.
Dire's
We're still about like 8,000 gold behind. We need some like family inheritance to get back in this game. So yeah, all of our mistakes were mostly in the early game. You should just have way more farm. That's all you really need to take away from this game.
Yeah.
Don't worry about how you played the team fights. Don't worry about anything else. We're gonna creep aggro next time. We're not gonna hit any towers unless like their entire team is dead forever. And you're just gonna get your items on time. And then you're gonna get to play Dota. Carry is the one role in Dota that absolutely does not get to play without items. Even some mids can play without items because their spells are powerful. Like, you can see Storm with a bunch of nulls. Like, it's not some huge item timing, he just has extra mana. CM ulti, like, with a BKB, can kill like a 20k net worth hero. Other heroes have spells that are just useful. Let's try and take a look, actually. I reviewed this game yesterday. I made a... I'm gonna release, like, the video I made on it later tonight, probably, but... Let me find the major game.
So basically, more creep aggro. Act like everyone is an NPC.
Yes, including yourself. You are also an NPC who's just gonna kill creeps. And then, all of a sudden, at 25 minutes, you're gonna gain consciousness. You're gonna gain consciousness. It's gonna be like the robot movies. So this was the game EG got owned.
I haven't really been watching much of the major because I'm usually...
We're not gonna give too much, like...
We're not gonna read too much into what RTZ is doing because he's a god.
No, the opposite. We're not gonna care about whether or not RTZ wins this game. We're just gonna see what he does when his team is getting folded and bent over.
I see.
And we're also gonna pay attention to the lane.
Do they still have Dr. K?
I have no idea. So, Reflection level 1, like I said, a lot of people do this. I'm fine with you just pressing meta. So this is a lane where they're a little stronger, so it's a bit different, but... You can see, even in this lane, like... How much easier is it when he aggroes the creeps back into the range creep?
Wait, I thought Jerax was the 5.
He is, but I think they wanted the lanes to be different in this game. It's just for the lane. You can see how focused they are on denying creeps as well and zoning them.
He has Crit God helping him, though.
Of course, but the other two are also pro players. We'll see how he uses the meta.
My supports like to watch me get folded over a table in lane 9 times out of 10.
Well, Nature's definitely got folded. They did their little combo where they're spamming W on the Terrorblade as well. So for your games, I wouldn't care if you just metaed right away and just started lasting and denying. He sees how low the Visage is, so he's kind of playing around. Like, if Visage isn't, if they're not coming up to CS, you can wait on meta. But if they're like, if this guy's full HP, I imagine he might just use meta and go on him and then CS everything afterwards. But he's just waiting to go on him with it with his Q, if that makes sense. He's just going to deny literally everything. You can see Visage has 4 CS. Terrorblade is a very, very strong laner. He's like 10 armor, bullshit spells.
How hard is Timber counter TV?
At 6, you'll feel the pressure. But you have a long time. He's one of those power spike at 6 heroes. Until then, you just get your own farm.
Some heroes he power spikes at like the 2nd or 3rd level. And his,
yeah, at level 3, you're never gonna hit him again, but that's okay. You're just gonna farm and trade, and then you're gonna leave when he's 6.
I see.
Yeah, they didn't really get an opportunity to use meta, which is kind of weird, but
Middle tower is under attack.
you can see just like the focus has definitely been him just CSing 16 lost hits, 11 denies.
Radiant's turret has been killed.
มีนักแดงมันจะกินนักช่วงมีนักช่วงมันจะกินนัก
And honestly, the reason this lane went so bad was just because they got ice armor. If this guy didn't have ice armor, he would have died.
Sure, Kurt brings him a cell.
Is under attack.
No?
Probably not.
Dire's structures
I don't know if he is. They got folded in every lane this game, and the important part isn't going to be like
The result.
what happens in the lane. We're just gonna see how he farms in the mid game. So like metaing right away for creeps. That's what we talked about.
Radiant are scanning.
He's probably gonna max illusions now and skip Sunder like I talked about.
Bottom tower.
These are how you come back from behind on this hero, is you just want to farm really fast. He's not gonna touch a tower, I imagine, unless it's free either. Even in like literally the major. Because he's behind.
Interesting that he's playing in safe lane. But it makes
He's
sense.
just playing away from people. They sniff him out. This will never happen in your games.
No, never.
So like when things are scary, like he doesn't have vision of them, like this ward is really nice because if he like smells the smoke out, so he stops farming jungle in the lane with this hero. So like he sees them go missing for middle, and I think they might have even seen the smoke as well. He was on this ward, which sucks for him. They had a ward like over here, but just trying to hide in the trees and letting your illusions push the lane, eventually they have to defend the lane and they'll come out of smoke. You're probably not going to find situations where you're going to get smoked on very often, but if you're ever scared of being ganked and nobody's showing on the map, just send illusions down the lane and hide. That way, like the worst possible thing you could do for your game is if like you TP like top right now and go to the triangle, you're basically like,
If they just invade and kill me.
yeah, like EG can't fight right now. If he goes to TP somewhere and they see it somehow, they can just close him off the map, and then he'll just never get to farm again. Whereas, like, the positive of this is eventually they have to show somewhere else or do something else, and he can just keep sending illusions down the lane, they have to deal with them, and it just buys everybody time. TP's top. Illusions down the lanes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So you can see he's kiting the creeps back. And again, like, just meta as soon as it's off cooldown for farming. We're never going to hit towers.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Because I think that, like, in a reasonable amount of your games, you're going to be behind until you learn how to, like, play really well, for the most part. And
Should
he's
I
got a
ever-
lot more net worth than you did, and he's under a lot of pressure. Just something to keep in mind.
Did I ever skip Manta like he is here?
I would just always get Manta. I think, like, in these games, there's reasons for him to skip it. Like, he wants the Scotty timing. It might be their way back into the game.
Yeah.
They have a lot of clear for illusions anyway, and like, there's a million reasons why you might want to skip it, because it just delays your timings, but I want you to get Manta every game just because you can press it to get more farm.
Yeah.
Just press it off cooldown like meta.
Radiant scanning.
I had a hotkey question. Yeah, a hotkey question about that.
Sure.
How do I set up different control groups? So like, one's my Manta illusions, one's my Conjure Image illusion.
Okay, we can...
What I'm
I'll show
saying.
you my hotkeys after this game.
Because like when I read like the different control group settings, it's
Dire's
just
bottom
very.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, I'll show you really quick. It's pretty simple. So it's like around 20 minutes, which is probably why he's holding meta so much. But like, if this was your game, we're not gonna hold meta. We're farming. There's gonna be way less pressure
Farming
from your
until
point of view.
Scotty.
And I think every time you press meta, you'll gain like an extra 300 gold minimum. Even if you're just farming creeps with it.
Dire
So you want me to press Meta off cooldown till I have Manta Scotty, basically?
Yeah. after Manta, you can you can adjust a little bit for how the game's going. Don't have it just be set in stone. After you finish your first item, you can start considering like, maybe I'll go do something with a teammate or go try to kill somebody with my meta. Like if somebody, like let's just say this Grimstroke was Herald or whatever, and he runs to the lane to start farming it because he's bored and has nothing better to do. Like you can just go meta and kill him solo for the most part, even with just Manta. So like if you see always press it off cooldown.
Opportunities.
But when it's coming, like 30 seconds off cooldown, you can just scan the map and be like, maybe if I walk over here, there's a kill with my meta, and then I can go farm creeps with it. Because you want to be using it to get kills or towers if it's available. Even if, like, let's just say this was your game, the tier 1 tower is still alive. You can press meta with your conjure images and hit it a bunch, and then if they TP, you just run away. Like, and then just go farm with your meta. Like, you can just kind of poke and prod with it. But don't commit. Because the biggest problem you had in your, like, you killed their whole team, you were committed to the tier 1 tower until even after the guy respawned and just solo killed you, right? Just don't commit super hard.
Good hero, by the way, Ice Frog. The fearless.
True.
I remember
And,
when
like,
we thought Monkey King was broken on release.
I would say his game ended up being way harder than yours, and he still has 10k net worth at 21 minutes, right? Like, it's not great. He's not, like, fist bumping and, like, partying about how rich he is, but he didn't do anything, like, special. He just avoided them. They even caught him, like, the one special play did was sit in the trees, I guess, and they caught him anyway. And, like, all you have to do is keep spamming illusions off cooldown and meta off cooldown, and you'll get farm no matter what. And just, like, not interact with enemy heroes. 0-2-0, that's a way more respectable score at 21 minutes, than you were, like, 1-9-4 or whatever. He's just not running into them.
Should I try to snag as many wards as possible, or just one?
Just one. Just make sure you place at least one every 6 minutes or so.
Okay.
Just one for yourself. Maybe you could buy a sentry too if you like think they have a ward somewhere, because they'll pay for themselves majority of the time anyway.
Don't you get bonus gold if you get the D ward? Like,
Yeah, but I think you're gonna miss like some percentage of the time. So like,
yeah, no,
if you
I'm
have
just,
like a 50 or 40% hit rate on them, you'll still profit.
yeah, I'm just saying if you do find it.
Yeah. I wouldn't spam them all over the place hoping you find
Oh
it.
no,
but,
no.
Yeah.
Only if I think they have them.
You can consider going Yasha Scotty in games where you're just losing and want to get to BKB faster like this too, but I think you can just get enough farm to buy them all on time, no matter what, even if your lane is bad. Let's go over Hotkeys now, this game. It's like they close them off the map from this point out, from what I remember.
They basically just sit in front of the
Yeah. Which will never happen to you, thankfully. As long as you can get out onto the map, and even if you have to hide in trees spamming illusions, you're always going to scale, and it doesn't matter what their gold lead is if you can leave your base, for the most part in Dota. So always keep that in mind. If you can leave your base and go somewhere without instantly dying, there's still a game to be played. So, it's just level to max if I Manta. I have all my illusions on the same hotkey, so like, if I just have an illusion hotkey, I have a hero hotkey.
I see.
For Manta, I press F2 because I don't have a lot of buttons and I rarely use this anyway. It's just gonna be one of my Mantas, so you can hotkey it individually in demo mode and it'll stay permanently. So like, here's my Manta on 3. If I'm trying to juke, I'll be running around. Oh, they're going on me. I can do this, right? Yeah. I don't ever get into. I don't play that much carry, and like, for the most part, I really only do that on PL, which would be F1 for the Doppel HP one. But if I played more carry, I'd probably use that a lot more often. Like, you really don't have to be fancy with it. I just have like, even for like Manta, right? Like, if you do
I
this,
was just asking so I don't waste time.
an easy way to do it on Naga, right, is like, I'm gonna send them all. Let me actually go in free spells.
I was just asking
I'm gonna box
so I
these
don't-
all. I'm gonna send them over here. And then, like, if you hold shift and click on these, you can deselect them one at a time.
Oh, okay.
So,
I was just asking so I don't waste time like
if I wanted to send my
worrying
illusions...
like
Yeah.
controlling my hero and then box selecting illusions and then going back to my hero and then back to the illusions.
Yeah, what I'm about to go through, though, can help you a lot with that, because, like, if I spawn my mantas, since I have them all in the same hotkey usually anyway, I can do this, and then I can shift-click both mantas, and that'll send them over there, and I can still control my hero. Without having to use a hotkey anyway. So this is a lot more useful in with Naga, but, like, I can attack, move, and if I shift-click... Oh, I misclicked there. Oops. I can shift-click both the mantas on the box. I'm sure you can see my cursor, right? So you can see what I'm doing.
I can see where you're clicking.
Okay, good. Same thing here, like I send an illusion. Let's say I boxed both, and I want to send the illusion somewhere else. I can just shift-click it so that it gets out of my control. Shift left-click in the little, like, menu thing that shows all your units. But as far as hotkeys go, I can blow through my setup real quick. D is my hero control group, and then X and Z are usually like my extra control groups. X is like all my illusions, pretty much. So to like make it so I'll set an illusion hotkey. If I summon both my mantas, I box my mantas, I do control plus X. Now I only have my mantas. I don't have the ones I summoned for my hero. If I want all of my ones I summoned for my hero to be in them, I do shift plus X, and it adds them to the control group. So next time, and then I think I have to do it one more time, and then it should automatically send them all.
I think I was thinking that control groups were much easier than they actually are.
No, they're not. For some reason, this one's not like auto going in either. I don't know why.
I see. Because the way I was thinking of control groups.
There we
is
go.
like,
I just had to get enough of them, apparently.
Like the way I was thinking about it was like I press Manta, I press this hotkey, and it sends the Manta illusion somewhere.
I mean,
That's where I click.
I mean, I could do that if I add these to like the Z hotkey. Like that.
Yeah, no, I thought you could set all this up in the menu. I didn't realize it took in-game stuff too.
No, you have to do it in the game.
I see. Unfortunate.
And then you can see all my extra hotkeys are like,
Yeah.
usually they're just the F keys. But I don't use that many control groups anyway. Like a lot of the time I just summon this and then do this trick instead.
Yeah,
Because
you do the shift click.
the biggest benefit, since I put them all in one hotkey for the most part, is like I summon my mantas, and if I use my like all illusion hotkey that I find the most useful in team fights to make them all focus on the right guy. If this illusion's farming way the fuck over here, and I want to send my mantas way over here, I don't want to send them all over there. So I'll just like box them and do like this. Like I'll just like box real quick, and then I'll attack, move them. I could do the shift thing if I wanted to, but I could also just select my hero again and walk it away.
Cool.
You can be pretty quick with them. It's like just whatever you're used to. It's not. You don't have to be a super nerd about it. There isn't too much like microing in Dota anyway.
When I'm trying to control illusions in my hero, one of them is AFK for some small percentage of the time.
And then when I play like those illusion-y type heroes, I'll change auto attack from never to standard a lot of the time, but sometimes I just make them auto attack with the A hotkey, because especially as a mid, if you play Bat Rider or what's another like tower dive type, it like killed me yesterday when I had auto attack after spell on some hero.
I think I joined in that Storm Spirit game where you got dunked on.
There was like, I don't know, sometimes I tower dive and then I press a spell and my hero, there's nothing else to attack, and he just auto attacks the hero, because especially sticky napalm, there's like nothing you do. Bat attacks so fast too, like try to simulate it.
The hero is nuts.
Prepare for battle.
So a lot of the times you're like stacking your goo or whatever, and like if I don't click right away, I'll auto attack and pull the tower, and like it happens so fast that like I didn't even I was clicking the whole time and I pulled aggro just because the sticky napalm stack, and I just find that shit to be like the most annoying thing in the world. So
The most annoying shit for me is I get tower dove and then the tower doesn't hit the guy until he's already almost out of range.
that's just knowing aggro mechanics and stuff a lot of the time.
I see.
But yeah, I think to like end things,
Focus on
just
playing
play-
a lot. Spam TB.
just
Number
play passive. Just play safe, play passive, and then when you have your items, then just like look at all the options you have available to you. Because in Dota, especially on carry, the more items and the more ahead you are, the more things you can do on the map. And you're really gonna shoot yourself in the foot if you're trying to do too much early.
I see.
Once you're more experienced and like better at the game, you'll find like that stuff will kind of fall into place. Like, oh, I'm level 4 and this guy's level 3. I can actually go on him in this specific spot. But the risk to reward is oftentimes like really bad for you if it doesn't work out. And like you just don't need to take the like even like a low risk, low reward, like you just don't have to take those things. There's just going to be low risk, high reward stuff in your games all the time. Like people are so noob that if you just literally never take any risks, you'll probably win.
See.
Eventually you have to take risks against better players and stuff, but like we can worry about that when we get there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Turn brain off until 25 minutes around.
Yeah. Just get your
Manta,
items.
or Manta timing, whichever comes first.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm gonna go hit up some pubs, I think.
Spam some TB.
TB is definitely a great place to start. Luna or Medusa the same, just even like Tiny, just because they can hit creeps in the first 25 minutes without items. Yeah, I'll catch you next time.
Yep, I will give you an MMR update in about a week, probably.
Sure. Excited to hear the results.
XD.
All right. See ya.
Peace.